And it would work if I turned on the microphone. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to WriterGreg and the World Anvil competition. And I'm glad for all of you who have joined me tonight or will be watching this on replay. And hopefully, those who are out there, we have a brand new follower today. It's Moonflower Writer, who's joining me from the World Anvil Discord server. So thank you very much. And hopefully, the audio is working, and it looks like everything is working here on my side, so we'll just pretend that everything's going. This is night 2 or prompt 2 of the World Anvil World Building Challenge, where I am going through the world of Sagadorm. Thank you, Moonflower, for letting me know that the audio is working. So, Sagadorm is my shared world of fractured fairy tales that are exciting enough for adults but family friendly enough for children. And that's what we're going to be building today. And the prompts that we have here, okay, let's switch over to the writing screen. All right, here we are. Here we are in the writing stream, and yesterday we talked about a myth or legend relating to a famous long lost item, and we came up with the dragon staff, originally named I Know. But today we are going to be doing the prompt number 2, and this is describe a valuable historical or ancient artifact in your world. All right, so let us jump in here and start writing the prompt. Okay, first I'm going to use a comment to put that in there to help me remind me. All right, this is a draft. The draft is taken off. Looking at the access, it is public. There we go. And we're going to save, gotta have a title. The title, the item that I want to describe may not seem ancient, but it's going to be something that will be considered ancient. Within Sagadorm, I am using many epochs of time. I am going to be going from prehistoric to medieval to low technology. Yes, Moonflower. Yes, the world is supposed to be showing. Oh, no, it's not showing World Anvil. Please. There we go. Oh. Okay. Yeah. That was fun. I have a 2-computer system. I have a Windows computer that is doing the broadcasting and all the bells and whistles, and the screen that is running World Anvil is on a Linux computer. And so thank you, Moonflower, for telling me that. Someday, probably in 10 years, I will figure this out. But until then, we will just take it one day at a time. All right, so talking more about Sagadorm, it covers an extremely wide variety of time. And the reason why I have it from all the way from prehistory, ancient history, no technology, Bronze Age, and medieval age, and even to a Renaissance, to a Industrial Revolution, and to a modern age is because I only want to build one world. And the one world that I'm going to build is Sagadorm. So if I feel like writing a medieval fantasy, I have a world for it. If I want to do a contemporary urban fantasy, I can do that. And so they'll all be interconnected in all of these different items. So the items, the historical items that I'm going to be talking about today are not historical from the point of view of most of any of the stories that I've written now, but they will be there in the future. And I call them totems. Now, a totem, excuse me, a totem In fact, it's going to be the 12 totems and of Sagadorm. And I can spell. Okay, the 12 totems of Sagadorm. And we are going to save those changes. Let's take a look at the world, make sure that everything's going there. All right, the 12 totems, great. Now I'm going to explore my world. Now I don't have the entirety of my world. I don't have the entirety of my world public. I just have portions of it, specifically my published works or the free fiction that I have available on my WriterGreg Sagadorm world. But there are a lot of different things of ideas that I have in the background, and we in the hopes of this competition, I'll be building a lot of that to be able to foster a whole lot of new ideas in what do I want to do, what kind of stories do I want to tell. And I had some, the ideas from the stories last night were just amazing. I had so much fun thinking of tracking the dragon staff not only from its creation but throughout its history. And that article written last night is already available in its first draft form. So the 12 totems of Sagadorm, we might call it something else. And wow, I have a Twitch thing on my screen. Holy cow, I didn't know that was there. Fun, okay. All right, so the 12 totems in my world is based on elemental magic. And the elemental magic, I take the traditional 4 elements of the world, and those are, of course, fire, air, water, and earth. Okay, those are the 12. Those are the it might be 16. Okay, those are the 4 different elements, and if you combine any of those 2 different elements together, you will get 16 different combinations. And you have you have fire and fire. You can have a fire air, a fire water, a fire earth. Then you go the opposite. You have an air, an air fire, an air water, an air earth, and you go through all of those iterations, and you get 16 different things. And so it is actually 16. I'll have to do the math later to talk about it. Okay, so the fire. Okay, so we have the different totems that we have here, and there are gonna. Okay, so the 16 totems are going to be magical medallions. So when I talk about, okay, so let's talk about the weight. It's probably gonna be, it's gonna be a medallion that one could wear around their neck, hide underneath the clothes. So I'm probably thinking it will be a couple of ounces, maybe. We'll just go 6 ounces. 8 ounces, because that's 8 ounces. Okay, the dimensions of this, it's going to be pretty small. Let's see. Okay, my trusty ruler. All right, yardstick, even though it's 4 feet long. Let's call that 3 inches diameter. Okay. Now the price, you cannot buy these, priceless. They are priceless because of the way that they're formed, and we'll talk about each one of these more. And I may need to pull up an old spreadsheet that I've been planning on the magic system, because I wanted magic to change. Because in the modern world, what we have today is not the same scientific method that we have on this earth in ancient times. The ancient Greeks and Romans talked about the four humors, red bile, black bile, phlegm, and blood. I think I got those right. But today we have the theory of atoms, and well, it's more than a theory. We have atoms where we didn't have those anciently. We had the four elements that we have here, that we're talking about here, and so I don't know where I was going with that, but these totems, these medallions that are being created, they're created once and only once. You could think of the six Infinity Stones from the Marvel Cinematic Universe or the Marvel Comics. They are that rare. So there are only 16 totems in all of Sagadorm's existence. Each one is unique and cannot be replicated in any manner. Okay. So significance, mechanics, inner workings. Okay, we'll save some of that for down later. Construction, categorization, location. Okay, let's talk about significance. Okay, so the elemental magic of Sagadorm is based on the four ancient elements of fire, air, water, and earth. Okay. When taking each of them in combination, there are 16. Now I need to give me a sec. I'm going to pull up another spreadsheet that I have, because I really think it's important that I have that. Let's open current. Okay, we'll do that. We'll go here. Go to drive. So I have all of the documents that I've yet to transfer over to WorldAnvil are on some Google Sheets. So let me just dig down into them. Sagadorm, naming realms. No. Magic familiars. No. Naming calendars. Riveting. I know. Did I? No. I did there. There's the totems. Oh. Haha. I called it something different. I called it something much better. Okay, instead of the and I did have 16. Okay, so it's the 16 totems of Trillinius. Okay, so let's get rid of the Sagadorm. Trillinius. Okay. All right, so let me just bring this over onto screen so you can see what I'm talking about here and get rid of the stream manager. Okay, so here we are. This is a Google Sheet that I came up to talk about and bring all of the things together. And this was a lot of the world building I have here. So here, over here in columns I and J, we have the elements and the sub-elements. And we have the air, fire, earth, water. And then we can see the two different, the sub-elements, air, fire, earth, water, and it repeats. So that's where we get our 16. And in my world, and this helps with the country and the calendar and the days of the week. Moonflower, yes, I'm glad you like it. Um, it I have world builder's disease. Janet of World Anvil talks about elven shoes. I have been I could say that I have documented some elven shoes. so um, so I wanted all of my systems are based on the number 4 because 4 elements. And so when we talk about the days of the week, there are only 4 days in the week. When we talk about the months of the year, there are 16 months of the year. Every month has its own combination of 2 elements, and you can see those in column A. Where I created up fake names for the months of the year. And one thing I did here in the status is all of the errors, all of the I'm sorry. So for example, the air element, I have 4 different um, items where one is common and one is legendary, and that way you can only have one legendary item per primary element, and all of the others um, are just common. And then I identified an animal for every one of the different totems, so for example, the legendary air fire is a dragon, but the very specific dragon is, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's the type, over here in column K, it's the type of dragon where it has 2 wings and no legs, because that would have to be a flying dragon, and because of dragon, of course, it has fire. Whereas the legendary Wyron, that's my phoenix. My phoenix is not a bird. It is a feathered Wyron. So it has 2 wings as forelimbs, 2 clawed feet, and it's a legendary fire, but it also has air, so it can fly. So the 16, and I was using Latin and Esperanto and different languages to try to come up with these fake names. Google Translate is my friend. I go in there and I just go crazy with that. And I also have the country names over here in column N, and the inspiration. My idea for Sagadorm is to take fairy tales from different areas of the world and retell them in a unified manner. And so if I want to retell a Russian fairy tale, well, my Russian world is Vetrzemlia. It is a it is its emblem is an owl, and a horned eagle owl, and their role is wisdom. And yeah, and so anyway, I'm building a lot of this stuff. Sorry, probably too much information, but needless to say, this is going to help me a lot with the items that we're going to be talking about today. Okay, so let's go back down there. There are only 16 totems in all of Sagadorm. Each one is unique and cannot be replicated in each manner. All right, that's let me just take a quick look. I really didn't get, okay, material, tooling, manufacturing, nope, nope, and nope. I can tell a little bit of the history. Type, and oh, sure, I can do some of this. It'll be, let's see, no, art, no, bionic, no, 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 not, jewelry, maybe, mechanical, musical, no, religious, maybe religious, but not really. A unique artifact, definitely. Let's just call this a unique artifact because there is model subtype. for example, if you have an under armor type called heavy, the item called dwarven can be an item. Nothing here. You'll need to create a parent item first. Okay, so this will be the parent item because I will need to build out all of the pages. Okay, the manufacturer. Aha, okay. This is good because I've already built some of this in here, and I have a lot of organizations already here, and this is going to be the Fairy Council. The Fairy Council is, think of the United Nations as the place where all of the people came together, the countries resolved their issues, and it is run by the fairies. And those who weren't here yesterday, fairies in my world are more like elves of the Lord of the Rings. They're human size. They don't have wings. They're just very much they're biologically compatible with humans because the first fairy was a human. So we'll just go with that. So the Fairy Council runs a world organization, but they created them. Okay, owning. Nobody owns them. Related technologies, no. Conditions, no. Ethnicities. You know, there isn't really an ethnic. They are not limited ethnicity. Anybody can have them. Location, current geographic, current holder. Again, that would depend greatly on what era of time I'm setting my story in. So we'll just need to come back to that. Yeah, we'll just come back to that when I go into the different stories. Yes, okay, Moonflower. You asked the question like the Fae. Yes, but I have a twist on it. The Fae in Shakespearean time was usually talked about as the Feywild or Puck or Oberon or the other characters of the A Midnight Summer's Dream that was there. And when I talk about the Fae in my world, because the Fae in the stories were often tricksters and mischief makers, the Fae in my world are evil fairies. So a fairy, using the D&D alignment, you have lawful, neutral, chaotic, but you also have good, neutral, and evil. A fairy is good and neutral. A fae is evil. So a fairy can fall and become a fae. A fae can be redeemed and become a fairy. And I use that distinction as the common parlance between the fae and the fairy. So when we get to the underground, or no, the counterculture prompt that was announced in the let me just go here. So WorldAnvil Summer Camp. Okay, so one of the prompts is a counterculture. Yes, describe a counterculture. The Fae are my counterculture to the fairies. And so we'll be able to talk that. Is this like fairy courts, the Celil and the Uncelil? I'm not familiar with that reference, Moonflower. What story is that from? I'd need to know more about that. I'm not sure what you say, fairy courts, but the fairies are the unifying Irish mythology. I wish I knew more about Irish mythology. I read this one story, maybe 10, 15 years ago, and it was based on Irish mythology, and it was a modern kid who got sucked into the Feywild, and I loved it. Oh, I wish I could remember the name of it. So I'm not sure about that. The How I envision it is that there are Fey spread throughout the world. They they are a subculture of their own, and they decide to help unify the world as and bring them together to help humankind, and they form a United Nations of sorts where they send out ambassadors, humans send ambassadors to them, and they just work out the problems, or try to work out the problems. And uh, my common era, you have your BC and or BCE, and you have your CE, your common era. My common era is the formation of the Fairy Council. And that's where I say everything before the Fairy Council is BCE, everything after the formation is CE. So, and I have a lot of stories that I have planned for that, and their interactions between the human and the fairies. Okay. So yeah, so so when we get into the counterculture link, I'm going to talk a lot more about the Fae, and maybe I'll be able to figure some stuff out. All right, so let's save this because I do not want to lose this at all. All right, let's refresh, see how we're doing here. That is not what I wanted. Oh, it probably kicked me out to the home page because I changed the name of it. Yep, there it is. Uh, cool. That is starting to fill out. All right. This is a Oh yeah, Moonflower. I'm happy to do this. I it's This is a big risk for me. I've never really shared my stories before, so I'm really excited about that. About this. And so hopefully anyone who has the opportunity to see this will be able to use this as inspiration for their own, and maybe something I say will, you know, Jira cog loose or something, and help you with your stories. So this will be fun. Okay, mechanics. All right, well, let's just finish off this first page. The mechanics and inner workings. Um, each totem is a solid piece of a crystal core. Okay, a crystal. And I'll need to create a different article on what the cores are, because it is a part of the magic system that I have. Because when a, a creature of magical ability or has internal magic ability dies, they do not decompose as traditional animals or uh, biological creatures do. They instantly petrify. And all of the magic gets condensed within the the core, or the last living organ, usually the liver, the heart, or something, and all of that magical power goes into this core. And so that core is what powers the magic. And so a fairy is one who can use a core to power their magic. Last night's the dragon staff, it was a core, it was a magical staff, and there was a core on top of it, and that core allowed you to be able to perform the magic. And so these totems are made of a crystal core. So a crystal core is concentrated magic, and it's concentrated. Let's call it what it is, for lack. It's a battery. Okay, it's a concentrated magical battery. But each totem is sentient. Let's see, sentient. Did I even spell that right? I have no idea. Nope, I did not. All right, sentient. All right, each totem is sentient. And so that is going to really help with the magic as I'm going to use it. And most likely this is going to be in a modern urban fantasy setting, but they will have been around for like 1500 years by the time my first story that's going to use these totems is actually used. Okay, so all right, let's save this and let's go over to construction, because I think this is where we get into the fun of it. The materials and the components, the tooling. No tools were used in the construction of the 16 totems. Okay, manufacturing. Okay, so they are, well, this is kind of the same thing as what I had over here. Mechanics and inner workings. Okay, no, this actually belongs over here under construction. Materials and components. Yeah. Okay, it's a solid piece. There's a crystal core, concentrated magic battery. Okay, it may be worn as a necklace or attached to the human fairy body based on the owner's desires. The method of wearing a totem is not does not impact the magical abilities or function of the totem. Good, because I don't care if some person wants to put it in a pouch, some person wants to wear it as a necklace, some person wants to make it a belt buckle. I don't care. That's a belt buckle. That no, okay, no belt buckles. All right, because I mean, I have big belt buckles, but that's a big belt buckle. All right. Okay, so no toolings were used in the construction of the 16 items. All right. Now, the manufacturing process, this is where it's going to be fun, because I do have a set of lore that are in here. Now, let me pull up, okay, Trillenius. Do I have it under, yeah, hopefully, well, let's just pull up Sagadorm, my global timeline, and I'm looking forward to it. Okay, so see here, I talked about the formation of the political, the formation of the Fairy Council, but let's go near the end. Yes, okay. Excuse me. I'm drinking water tonight, 52 ounces. All right. The Great Decimation. Okay, this is the formation of the totems, the end of the Fairy Council, the quote-unquote end of magic in the world, the creation of the totems to house the magics of the astrology. Okay, so this is where we come back into the, where we come back into the animals that I showed on the spreadsheet earlier. Because the Great Decimation, what happens in the year 1123 is that there is and I haven't figured it out, but there is something that goes wrong, and or the human uprising. Let's see, does my Sagadorm have more information on that, or is it? Nope. Okay, it stops there too. Okay. Once they announced there's going to be a new Chronos project on WorldAnvil, I stopped building all of these different timelines, and I do hope they come over. Okay, so all right, sentient. I can't spell. All right, so at the time of the Great Decimation. Of Trilinius. Did I call it Trilinius? Nope, I just called it the Great Decimation. But let's Trilinius. Okay, Trilinius is one of. Is it one of the 16? Oh, no, it is not one of the 16 regions of Sagadorm. It is a neutral, it's a 17th area, an island chain of islands that where the fairies live. The same way that the United Nations is headquartered in New York City, the Fairy Council is headquartered on a chain of islands called Trilinius. So, at the time of the Great Desolation, okay, the 16 totems were created. Come on, let's use better words. Created at the time of the Great Decimation of Trilinius. Let's see if this works. Fairy. Okay. The Fairy Council was under distress to be determined, and felt it was time to, quote unquote, destroy magic. Okay, they cannot truly spell. They cannot truly spell a Bertha Darn. They cannot truly destroy magic, but contain it. The creation of the totems was to contain the creation of the totems. What grammar? The creation of the totem allows the council to contain the magics of Sagadorm into items, into the medallions. Okay. Now, this is a family-friendly stream, and I will strive to keep this family-friendly. But the creation of this magic did require sacrifice. So the 16, I don't know what to call them, but let's just say most experienced fairies of the 16 different astrological signs and elemental combinations, same thing, created each of the totems. Okay, they were created by a magical spell where the fairy I was going to say an animal, but some of these, the dragons no longer exist at the time of 1123 CE. So I can't use the animals because it would be really cool. So where the fairy holds a core, a crystal core, holds a crystal core, and then they become one. Okay, this is where the sentience of the cores merge together and become the totems. And okay, the fairy holding the crystal at the time of creating the totem became the they became the sentient or consciousness of the totem. This allowed the fairies, to obtain a form of immortality as long as the totem survives. Okay, so that's what we're dealing with here. Is we have 16 sentient crystal medallions, or we'll just call them totems. They're in the shape of a medallion, but they are totems that can then be a source of power. Okay, so that's all I'm going to say about the manufacturing process right now. So let's save these changes. Okay, do we need categorization? No, we don't need that. Location? No, we don't need that. That would probably be more in line of when I get to the actual story. Rarity, significance. Okay, let's go back here. We have about 15 minutes left on the stream. I'm going to try to do each of these prompts within an hour. The mechanics and inner workings of the totems. Each of the totems take the form. Let's go back to construction. Let's talk a little bit more about them. Okay. Oh, come on. No, I don't want Artemis. Thank you. Okay, each of the totems take the form of its astrological creature. Okay, and that's where we get into the okay, so we have the raven, this dragon, the owl, the gull, the wyron or phoenix, the horned viper, the Komodo dragon, the barracuda, the cougar, the lion, the wolf, dolphin, eel, the hydra, and the octopus. Now, you'll notice, let's go back to the spreadsheet that I had before. Come on. Here we go. Now, you'll notice one thing here that is the legendary ones. A dragon is a legendary creature. It doesn't exist in the modern world. The wyvern, the the Urodela. That is, I call it the Urodela because it is a salamander. Basically, it is a type of dragon. No wings, 6 legs, 3 pairs to make 6 legs, and I call that a Urodela from the Latin family, class or genus is the Urodela. So that's why I call it that. And then the Hydra. So we have the 4 legendary totems are dragons of a kind, where all of the common ones are actual animals that you can find on Sagadorm and on Earth. So that's, and so Hydra, that is a water-based dragon, but it has some earth elements to it, whereas the salamander is an earth that has some water elements. So, yeah. So that's where this comes in. So to have each of the totems, so the astrological creatures, I wanted something that was more than just the common animals that you see all the time in astrology, and I did try to pick different unique things. I mean, the dolphin, the eel, the horned viper, meaning a snake, the barracuda, a cougar, the cougar, lion, and wolf. Those are probably the most common. Let's see, where did I put those? Yeah, those are all earth. The cougar, lion, wolf. I tried to have a large selection of them. Okay. Okay. Um, they don't really take the form. They they bear a representation of its astrological. Yeah. Okay. So bear. I hope that's the right way to spell the kind of bear that I'm talking about. All right. So we'll save that. And only 16 totems, the magical. Yeah, okay, and the mechanics and workings. Okay, so this is where the powers bestowed upon the I don't want to say owner, because it really doesn't matter who possesses the totem, are similar to those of a superhero. Okay. Think how the Green Lantern Corps, or the entirety of the Lantern Corps, without their lanterns, they're just creatures. If you think about, there's the new TV show Stargirl on the CW. She doesn't have any magical powers in and of itself, but it's because of her her staff, the cosmic staff, I think it was. I only watched the first 2 episodes. All right. The totem bearers do not need to be magical, i.e. fairy or fae, to access the powers of the totem. Totem. Okay. The totem can transform the bearer to enhance their abilities based on the elements of the totem. Okay. So, for example, air totems bearers of air totems can fly, i.e. and earth totem users are extra strong. Something like that. Okay. There is a psychological link between the bearer and the consciousness of the totem, allowing them to work together or not in the case of evil totem bearers. Yeah. Okay. So we want there to be good guys, bad guys, to be able to have it, and yeah. And so this is where my urban fantasy comes in. Is the two of these totems are given to two individuals that will then be able to use them to influence change in the world, in where they live. And so that's where we're going for there. So just checking the stream chat. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is, I think that's enough information. Let's save this article, save the changes. I'm going to grab, wow, that was not what I wanted to happen. Okay. All right, so I have a document over there. I am just going to copy and paste all of these things into a separate document so that I can see how many words that I've typed. Because when I look under community challenges, I don't see anything. I only see to submit your prompt. I thought there was going to be a word count or something, but I'm not seeing that here. Okay, so there's that. Categorization, nothing to copy here. Location, again, nothing to copy here. So this is 371 words. Awesome. So that is enough for the challenge for today. So I am going to save this. I am going to community challenges. I am going to submit this. All right, it has been submitted. So we can go here, refresh that. Let's list all of the entries. And yep, there I am, the 16 totems of Trilinius. All right, looks like we got some other cool, the Spear of Samara, the Origin Stone, Elder Fragments, Maelstrom Compass. Wow, that sounds cool. Okay, I could get stuck into that. Okay, so let's go back over to NaNoWrimo, and I am WriterGreg on NaNoWrimo, and if you would like to be my buddy and we can work on the Sagadorm WorldAnvil Summer Camp 22 competition together, we could do that. So for the words for this session, I am going to put in 300 and set. I'm at 911 words. All right, so what I have here is I have a goal of writing 10,000 words. It's only 100 words over the 9,900, the 33 for 300 words. Yeah, we can go there. So, So thank you very much for joining me tonight as I worked on prompt 2 of the Sagadorm WorldAnvil Summer Camp 2020 competition and Camp Nano for NaNoWrimo that's also happening this month. And I am really excited to be here. Oh, I do have some questions coming in. Moonflower says, a question to help your world building. What are the similar secondary effects of the totems, like enhanced lung capacity of the air totem users? Yes, there is a lot of that, and I have that as a part of the spreadsheet that you didn't see is the superpowers that are given to the wearers. There's enhanced strength, there is that. Metadata has the word count. Oh, really? Public item views. I'm not seeing it. Okay, that is something that maybe is it metadata over here? Words. Oh, 404. Awesome. I will have to make that adjustment. That'll save me so much time. Thank you so much, Moonflower, for letting me know that. That'll save me so much time. Okay, so, oh, I'm not even showing it on my screen. Sorry about that. Okay, so thank you again for everyone for joining. We had on the edit screen. Yes, I did find it, and I actually undercut myself about 35 words. So I'd like to thank our newest follower, Moonflower, who's been a great help today during this live stream. And for anyone else who may be seeing this in the future, welcome and good luck in the challenge. And thank you so much. Oh, as far as scheduling goes, I will not be here tomorrow night. I will be returning Monday, July, what is, see, the 3rd is Friday 4th, Saturday 5th. So I will be back July 6th at 7 p.m. The July 6th at 7 p.m. And you're very welcome, Moonflower. Glad to have been a part of it. And glad that you were able to be a part of it. And I look forward to seeing you and anyone else who wants to join back on Monday, July 6th at 6 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, UTC -7. All right, and thank you very much, and have a great night. Goodbye, everyone.